Listen, child. My iPad is on my nerves. Have y'all ever had Jeannie's ice cream? Child. Listen. Okay. 1 second. Pause for the cause. Whoever Jeannie is, she's ruining my life, okay? Because this is the problem. Let me show y'all, and then y'all will understand. What was it? I think I was in Target or Whole Foods somewhere. I think I was at Sprouts. And I saw my favorite flavor. It's lemon berry something. I love lemons, and I think it was lemon blueberry. But listen, see, look, why is this populating on my computer when I'm trying to show y'all the other stuff, okay? I can't. It's problematic. I didn't even know these people existed. Hold, please. So, like, if you go to the shop, hold on, they have all these different flavors. Okay, look, this is my favorite flavor. This one, it's hard. You can't probably see it because of the ring light thingy. But listen, they are trying to take over the ice cream. Well, listen, they've taken over as far as I'm concerned. Because look at all this good ice cream. Like, it's addictive. It's real addictive. And it's real expensive. Ooh. Brambleberry crisp. Child. Listen. This? Why is that necessary? Jenny? And this one called Super Moon. It says tastes like candied violet and marshmallows, almost like cereal milk. Ain't that the best milk? Why do we have to drink the milk after? The one I'm having is called brown butter almond brittle. Child. It's a problem. It's a problem. The thing is with her ice cream or his ice cream, so yeah, this is the one that I'm having. The yellow one. It's like a little commercial for her or whoever this family is. The thing about them, real talk, the flavor is exactly what it says. Please understand. Like they have one called caramel, salted caramel. It tastes exactly like salted caramel. So it could be a little overpowering, but listen, it's the truth.com. What Vince from Tamar Vince? He said, you know what it is? It's the truth.com. Listen, Pollard jelly donut. Why? Okay, let me get back to what I came on this live for. Sorry, that was a 3-minute intermission. My bad. But it's my channel. I can do what I want. Okay? Let's understand. Now, y'all could just be like, we don't care. Sorry. Okay, listen. There's a few things I want to talk about. Y'all know who this is? Drake. Apparently, Drake is in a feud or some sort of rap battle with this guy, Kendrick Lamar. I don't know Kendrick Lamar, but I feel like my little sister was over here doing something and trying to educate me on whoever this guy is. And I was like, all right. He acting like he the truth. You know, truth.com. Okay, all right. Apparently, Drake made some, I don't know if Kendrick Lamar started the rap battle. I just feel like, listen, I don't know him, but he seems like just like a real lyricist, like somebody that can really put the words together where the people understand it, you know, and it doesn't matter what your race is, where you're from, or your culture, none of that. You just, the message is clear. Kind of like Tupac, but nobody's in Tupac lane as far as I'm concerned. It is what it is. It's not changing over here, okay? It ain't changing over here. But anyway, my sister was playing some of his music, and I was like, all right, okay, I ain't mad at you. I love Drake, but I will say this: my issue with Drake, which I try to keep it a little bit separate if I can, especially if it's not something where it involves hurting others. I can kind of try my best to overlook certain things. But when you start hurting others or whatever you're doing in your life impacts other people's ability to do what they want to do in their life, that's when I kind of have a problem with it. So I was taken back, and I don't know why. Because I guess I had Drake in some sort of like bubble. So I was like, I'm into Drake. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Okay, anyway. Well, before that, I was into him. I remember a friend of mine took me, we drove to Galveston. We wasn't doing nothing that day. It was just like, let's drive to Galveston. So we drove to Galveston, which, listen, a beach is a beach, unless you've been to better. And I've fortunately been to much better. Cancun is lit. Hey, what does it say? Troll bougies. Can I see? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But we went there, and she was like, on the way there, since Galveston's about an hour and a half or maybe two from my house, in Houston. And so she was just like, I want you to listen to this guy. His name is Drake. This is before I knew who Drake was. Apparently, because this friend is younger than me. She's probably like 6 years younger than me. So I was probably more like her mentor. But anyway, she's just like, Nikki, you need to listen to Drake. And I'm like, I'm Chanel. I don't need to listen to But it was that CD, that album, Thank Me Later. And she made me listen to every song. I was like, but listen, song after song was hit after hit. I was like, yes, for whoever this Drake person is, right? But she was like, yeah, he used to be on the Disney Channel. I was like, what? So that's how come she knew who he was. And I guess when he was on the Disney Channel, I never watched this, like I said. I didn't watch this show or whatever. But apparently he was like a cornball. He ain't no more. But anyway, so that's my Drake story. That's how I got introduced to him. And then it seemed like the next 4 months or so, he just blew up out of nowhere. So she was right about him. But apparently, getting back to the Kendrick Lamar thingy, apparently Drake and Kendrick Lamar have some sort of beef. Some sort of rap beef. I never understand it. I'm like, why we can't why we can't uplift? I don't get that with people. Like, if somebody is coming for you, I just don't pay haters dust. Just like, girl, you're a fan. That's how I look at people. I mean, because I'm just not a hater. I just don't have it in me to hate on everybody else. Maybe it's because I'm a Leo and I just don't think anyone's better than me. Call it whatever it is, but I'm just not jealous of anybody in any capacity. I don't care if she could be skinnier, sexier, prettier, whatever it is. I just don't give a shit. Like, I just don't feel like I'm battling against anybody for any reason. And I don't really care if you're more talented, like I said, skinnier, prettier, whatever it is. I still don't see you as competition. Like, nobody's competition, in my opinion. But if you are cuter, skinnier, more beautiful, more talented, whatever it is, I'm happy for you. Go be great. That's all I want people to do in the world. Listen. But I don't think because you're great, I'm less than. That's why I never really understood, like, when people get on TV, even still today, they'll be like, oh my God, the magazines, you know, they prance around these unrealistic expectations for girls and they should be watching this. Or, listen, I have never in life, ever, looked in a magazine, looked at some video of Beyonce or whoever. I never looked at anything that anyone else is doing and thought, oh, I'm not good enough. I wish I looked like her. Or looked at someone and thought less of who I am. It just doesn't register to me. Because I'm just like, even before I knew what is the program that they use where they fix their bodies and make it skinnier, Photoshop or whatever. Even before I even knew what Photoshop was, I still didn't, I don't, someone else doesn't assign my value. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel less than or bad about myself because people love Beyonce. I just don't. You can love Beyonce. That doesn't change how I feel about me or whoever it is you love. If you love, I'm trying to think of somebody who, Kim Kardashian is another person that people love in high regard. Pink, I love me some Pink. Maybe because she's just a little bit of a rebel. She's a little bit of a rebel, and I am too. I can be sweet and nice or whatever, but I can't with a bully, and you're not gonna, like, just don't, wrong road. Like, I don't get into that. So again, I don't understand the beef. So there's this beef apparently going on with Drake and this guy, Kendrick Lamar. From what I've heard of Kendrick Lamar, he seems, just like I said before, a really good lyricist, which is, to me, a good lyricist is kind of like a poet. you know, deep, like make you think about it. But if I'm being fair, when I first heard that Thank Me Later album that I told you my friend forced me to listen to on the way to Galveston, I was just like, Drake, to me at the time, I feel like he is a conversationalist type of artist. So like when you're listening to him, when you making breakfast or cleaning up or whatever it is you're doing, if you really listen to the lyrics, it's like he's having a conversation with him and some girl or him and some guy or whoever it is he beefing with. That's what it gives. I feel like Lil Wayne, which I don't understand. God bless Lil Wayne. He's a really good rapper, but I'm just like, he ain't cute. Mm. Although the other day my husband showed me like a little kid picture of Lil Wayne. He's like, "Who do you think this is?" And I was like, "Oh, he's so cute." I couldn't figure out who it was because he was so cute, right? And he was like, "That's Lil Wayne." I was like, "Ah." I was like, I guess that's what the little girls was into. I don't know. I wasn't into it. Even though I did like that song, Hot Girl. You a hot girl. Y'all might not know about that because that's that down south. But like, this is how, thank you, Jesus, for saving me from myself. Okay? Because what was it? 99? One time for the 99. What was the name of that song? With Juvenile? Oh, God. What is the name of the song? It could have been Hot Girl. But anyway, at the time, I was so convinced. Thank you, Jesus, for saving me from myself. I was convinced I should get a tattoo of Hot Girl across my wrist. Okay? Couldn't tell me still can't tell me shit. If we being honest, you can't tell me shit. That's just what it is. But yeah, thank you for saving me from myself. So what I heard, the word on the street is that okay, so Drake, he dropped some diss track or whatever to this guy Kendrick Lamar, and then 38 minutes later or 37 minutes later, Kendrick Lamar dropped his comeback battle. Oh, I was like, oh my god, that you know what? Go listen to it, y'all, and then let me know what y'all think. It's the Kendrick Lamar Drake diss in response to Drake dissing him. I'm like, you really talented if you could just hear this, whatever Drake said, and then 38 minutes later drop something. That's what you call battle royale, like that type of. That's like a heavy like battle rap type stuff. I just like it's certain people, just leave them alone. Just listen. Like Eminem, just leave him alone. Leave him alone, okay? What he did to Machine Gun Kelly, whatever his name is, child. And I remember my husband came in the room. We were having some sort of something at our house. He came in the room and he played Machine Gun Kelly's Eminem diss. I didn't know who the hell Machine Gun Kelly was. Didn't have a clue. And I'm listening and I'm like, because he's talking about how Eminem is on his Northern track in recovery. He say, I'm making all my money and without Dre producing me. Oh, I was like, you tried it, but I wasn't mad at him. I was just like, all right. And then Eminem came back with Killshot. It was over with. Eminem, listen, savage. So it's just like leave him alone, okay? Leave him alone, okay? Leave him alone, cause it's not a competition. It just isn't. But listen, y'all should go listen to what Drake said, and then go listen to what what's the other guy's name? What I forgot. Kendrick Lamar says back to him. He said some stuff like, I can't say the word. I don't think I can say it on YouTube, but something foul with kids. He's saying basically you have people in your circle that are like that, messing around with little girls or teenagers. Child. I'm like, ooh, just leave Kendrick Lamar alone. Child. He also said something about Drake has a little girl that he ain't claiming. But like I said, I didn't know. I changed my viewpoint on Drake whenever he was like had a baby with like a P star. You know those videos that people make. in the room, and women usually get paid more than men. Apparently, Drake had a baby with one of them girls. And I'm just like, you're Drake. What are you doing? Sorry, y'all. Me and this ice cream, you having a love affair. Sorry. It's so good. I don't get it. I don't get it, Drake. Like, what we doing? I liked him, and then I heard that. I was like, you can get it from anybody. Why are you choosing those? I mean, shout out to all the P stars, you know, do whatever. But do you know how many people she's, you know, deep down in my little Chanel heart over here, I was like, I was hoping when him and Nicki became, like, if they wasn't married, I mean, to other people, by the time they were like 38, and then they would get to, I don't know why in my mind, I just thought that would be so cute. Or him and Rihanna, I was like, yes, I would watch, I'd watch that movie. I'm just saying. That would have been a good movie. And I'm like, you might as well call that a P movie. That whole work video she did with Drake, I was like, oh my God. Am I a little hot and heavy over here? They just vibed. It just seemed like it was a real tension in the room. Like, it seemed like, I'm like, who? Because if I would have been on set, I was just like, is it just me? Am I a little hot heavy over here? Like, what's happening? I would have been like, is it just me? How y'all capturing this? And ain't nobody like, child. I felt like the first time I watched that video, I was like, I know they went home and got it in. Or when the restaurant, they went somewhere. I don't care. That's what I felt. I was just like, I'm feeling away about Drake, not Rihanna. But she's hot too, but I'm just not into girls like that. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, I was like, how did they make this video? Jesus. It just seemed real. It seemed like, y'all been doing some stuff. I was convinced. So, whatever. But I was just like, I felt away with her and that ASAP guy. I was like, really, Rihanna? No shade. Because they say usually, one, in the black community at least, one person is typically light skinned, like Rihanna, and then one person is dark skinned, like me. Or ASAP, you know, in the relationship. Like, me and my husband are the same color. He swears he's lighter than me. But that's because his mom is like bright close to white. And all his females, his sisters, they're all light skinned and with curly hair. And all the men, except for D, all the men in his family are dark like me. It's weird. It's very weird. But anyway, usually, so me and my husband are the exception, not the rule. So the rule is light and dark get together in our community, allegedly, statistically. But so me and my husband are the exception. Typically, in a relationship, we wouldn't be the same color of brown, though we are. So anyway, guys, I came on here to talk about Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. Oh, Jesus. Let me just go ahead and give a trigger warning for people who are, and hey to everybody, shout out to everybody watching. It's only like 3 of y'all, but you know what? Or 5 of y'all, I can't remember. But hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Chanel. This is Chanel's reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. So today, I'm just going to come on here because, you know, there's been this whole JEZZY versus Jeannie Mai battle royale that I don't agree with, because there's so many people, and I don't know why, it just always seems to be women who, it's just like, if a man is accused of physically abusing a woman, child, it's like, you need a videotape, and even if you have a videotape, this is, to me, the only time where I feel like women, and I'm speaking This is very subjective. This is how I feel about something. It's not objective, but it's my experience. It just seems like if a man has physically abused a woman, it's like women are the biggest. It's like they pounce. Like, oh my god! I feel like women have this in women and the police have, or people who are not brown, how they view the police. It's like brown people have a collective unconsciousness. If we see on the news, okay, this black man was um, unalived or SHOT at by a police officer, there's a subset of people, they usually are not my color, that can't accept that the police officer possibly used excessive force in this case. So for them, there must have been something else that this perpetrator, accused perpetrator or alleged perpetrator, had to have done for the police to be using this type of force. And it's like, have you looked at our history in this country? It's not very light. It's very dark actually, as it relates to the laws against people that are my color and the policing of people that are my color. We just don't usually get a pass. And collectively, as brown people, we can kind of, don't nobody need to tell us. We kind of like, yeah, yes, it's hurtful, and it's like, oh, here we go. But we understand collectively, like, we don't have to get together and announce this is what happened. We know what happened, typically. And we know people can be trigger happy that have on that uniform. Just is what it is. But this is where I feel like a lot of women, they have this in common with the police and the people that think like, oh, that it must have been something that man was doing to make the police do that. Where's the tape? What was happening before he got SHOT? That's how people look at it. And women, whenever, in my opinion, my experience says that lots of women want to find a reason for why the woman must have been doing something. I call it the Chris Brown and Rihanna effect. It just is what it is. It's written into the law. That's why they call it domestic violence or DV. That's why YouTube don't even want us to say it. Be clear. They call it that for a reason. If they just only called it what it is, which is SA, because I can't even say the word, or I'm sorry, physical A, then it would be, in my opinion, it would be taken a little more seriously. But because it's called domestic, it must be that's a family matter. We don't need to even investigate that. That's a family matter. No, it's what it is. If that same man hit another female that he wasn't dating, that's what it would be called. It just is what it is. Stop me when I'm wrong. So, and don't get me even started on the non-punishment that happens. That man may go to jail, maybe. He'll be out reoffending within 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is. It's not me, it's the facts. Go read the empirical data about DV. Go read it. So anyway, like I said, I gave you guys a trigger warning because this is talking about DV. But I was over here minding my business, trying not to eat this ice cream. And here comes TMZ. I just do wonder about TMZ. How is it that TMZ has all the scoop on everybody? But anyway, it says, and all of the links to everything I'm going to discuss today is going to be in the description. So the links will be in the description. But it says JEZZY. We know who that is. He is he's a rapper. Why is there a mosquito in here? I don't understand. But it won't let me be great. Anyway, hold on. What is happening? It says on TMZ, it says JEZZY, and then it says Jeannie Mai smearing me. This is what allegedly JEZZY is saying about his wife, Jeannie Mai. She's smearing me because I said no to baby number 2. Sure. I can promise you, there are women that are like, oh yeah, she just wants his, see, this is it. This is why she, oh Jesus, We're going to get into it. Hold on one second. This ice cream is so good, y'all. Sorry. So, those women that I was telling you about, this type of language, that's all they needed to hear. Or those people. Because it ain't just women. Those people that don't want to believe Jeannie Mai anyway, those same people that were like, she just want him. No, first, this is how it started. The conversation started from the beginning. She's racist. She said she likes her black meat, her dark meat on the side. Stop. I want y'all to stop it right now. Y'all only have a problem with that because she's Asian. And he didn't choose you. So my thing is, if he don't have a problem with it, he thought it was funny. And I'm sure she meant it in jest. Why are you so bothered? Why are you so bothered? And let me be clear. Before these accusations about him came out, you couldn't tell me nothing about Jeezy. He was one of them people. He was one of them celebrities that I was just like, he can do whatever. Kind of like, who's the other celebrity I feel like can do whatever? Oh my God. What is her name? I can't think of her name right now. Damn it. She reminds me, she's from the era with like Babyface and like Aretha Franklin. Where's another one? Oh God, it's gonna come to me. But couldn't tell me nothing about Jeezy. Oprah. Not Oprah. I'm like, I'm not sure, girl. All this stuff coming out. Listen, the way Monique is set up right now, cussing out Oprah on her magic show. I mean, on her comedy show. I'm like, oh Lord. You coming after the billionaire? Child. Anyway. It's hard for me to take Monique seriously. Only because I'm like, girl, you said your husband needed to grow you up. You a whole woman over the age of 50, right? I'm almost 50, so you got to be over 50. Your husband needed to grow you. Girl, you a whole grown-ass woman. What are you talking about? That sounds like idolship. I have a whole husband. I've been married, 18 years now? Been with this man for 23 years? Or no, 24 years at this point. He ain't have to grow me nowhere. Nah, sis. Now, have I learned things from my husband? Absolutely. I love the fact that he could teach me something. Listen, okay, so for the people that kind of maybe went over your head, the reason I say that is because if you're always the smartest person in the room, you can't grow, sis. Where are you growing? You can't. So you need somebody there that can, maybe tell you something about something you don't know. And I know my husband, listen, I'll be somewhere and I'll be like, hold on, let me call my husband. Because he'd be like, yeah, I call him, baby, did you know that they made black cantaloupe? Did you know there was a such thing? And this is that irritates my soul, which is the same reason I fell in love with this man. But it'll be like, I'll ask him, did you know that there were black cantaloupe? And whatever place that I'm learning. And he'll be like, yeah, I learned that in 3rd grade. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, shut the hell up. But that's why I love him. That's what attracted me to him. Listen, there's a term, it's called saposexual, and it means a person who is sexually attracted to intelligence in others. That would be me. That's me. That's for me. I'm into beautiful people, 5-star hotels, and room service. Catch it. It just is what it is, okay? So, yeah. But to grow me up, that kind of feels like I'm your daughter and you, no. I'm already intelligent, okay? I'm already qualified and have experience. But there's nothing wrong with someone being able to help you grow a little bit. That should happen in any relationship you have. It doesn't matter if it's your mom, your daddy, your brother, your cousin, your bestie, your boyfriend, your baby daddy. Somebody that's in your life like that you sharing your life with should be able to, help you grow in some manner and vice versa. But anyway, like I said, that's the problem I have with Monique. I'm like, girl, go live your best life with your husband or whatever. But I don't know. I feel a way about that statement. And then her son, who is, I think he's in his 30s at this point. Listen, he put sis on blast. I was like, damn. That's after she did she went on the Club Shay Shay. Shout out to Shannon Sharp over here making his money. I ain't mad at Club Shay Shay. Y'all go visit Mr. Shannon Sharp. I like him. For some reason, listen, I remember when Shannon Sharp, this was easily 20 years ago, and I didn't really like football like that, but I remember I was watching something, it was probably on ESPN, and all of a sudden, Shannon Sharp was talking about somebody, and he was like, yeah, he a pretty monster. I died. I was like, who is that guy? I like him. I died. So at that point, Shannon Sharp is another one that I feel like he's a realist. I feel like he's not one of those people that wants to get on TV and just embarrass other people. Like he could, but he doesn't. So he just let people come on his show, and the best thing he could have ever done is invited Cat Williams. Cat Williams came on Shannon Sharp's show and set the fucking internet on fire. Okay? Immediately. I was like, yes! For Cat. I've been wondering where he been. But he came on Shannon Sharp's show and listen, deaded everybody on stage. I was like, y'all better leave Cat alone. He gonna drag everybody out the closet. Okay? And the crazy part is nobody said Cat is lying on me. Not one of them. He called everybody out. Even Ice Cube. That was my boyfriend for a long time. But he didn't even Ice Cube didn't say, wasn't he a original gangster or something? With the people from Cali, Dr. Dre and them people? Yeah. He didn't even drag Cat. Not one of the people he said all those things about said Cat was lying. Not one of them. Not one of them still. Because I feel like Cat like, try me not, bitch. And I ain't mad at him. But anyway, so this is what I'm reading. I'm just going to read on TMZ. It says, Jeezy is firing back at his estranged wife, Jeannie Mai, whom he claims is out to smear him just because he didn't want to have another baby with her. A second child with her. Alleging she's out for revenge. I'm trying to be unbiased, but I cannot. And I used to love me some Jeezy. But some of the stuff that came out, and it's not like it came out just simply out of Jeezy's mouth. Anyway, then TMZ reports the rapper filed new legal docs in his divorce case with Jeannie. And he's offering up a firm defense to Jeannie's bombshell claims from last week, in which she alleged Jeezy was reckless and abusive. And that he'd gotten physical at least on one occasion. So I had read somewhere, somebody reported this, probably was TMZ as well, but I know that someone had reported that maybe it was Jeezy. Not Jeezy. I think it was Jeannie Mai that basically came out and said that Jeezy was physical with her. Because, okay, so when they were doing the whole custody, who has primary custody, I think Jeezy was asking for primary custody. Which I'm just like, I'm giving him the side eye. I just have to give him the side eye because, listen, how is it that you suddenly want primary custody for this child? And to me, people only really do that, especially men. And I ain't shading men. I'm just statistically. Go read the statistics. And then if I'm wrong, come back and tell me I'm wrong with the statistics. But I'm just saying, especially men, and especially powerful men or men who have a lot of money or resources. If they're really busy like that, they're not trying to have primary custody, because when you have primary custody of a little one, and baby girl, I think is 2 or 3, I believe. Let me know down in the comments if I'm wrong about it. But what does it say? He only wanted custody to not have to pay out. I agree with you. But that's what I was getting at. People who want primary custody typically either want to shame the other person and say that they lost custody. Because listen, I've worked in the court systems for many years, and typically, especially in family court, it's changed a little bit, but typically the primary caregiver is going to be a woman. Believe that. It's almost like she gotta have like DRUGS in her system. She gotta be a real problematic parent. And even then, she could be mentally whatever. She could be a lot of different things. But even then, they're going to say, if I'm her attorney, or even if I am a court-appointed attorney, I'm going to say, since she's my client, let her have parenting classes. let her have family therapy, whatever. They're not generally going to just rip the baby from the mom. That's just not generally how it works. So if a mom loses custody, this is my opinion, personal opinion. There is a lot going on with mom if she loses custody. But I feel like Jeezy was even did that. It probably wasn't even his thought. It probably was his attorney. His thought. I don't think it was his thought to let me get primary custody, because what did Jeezy say after he announced that they were getting a divorce? He said, what did he say? Oh my goodness, I just lost it. He said he's more, and this is me paraphrasing what he said. He said, I'm more concerned about where I'm going rather than who's coming with me. Catch it. That is a targeted attack, and he ain't even said this lady's name. Be clear. So he's saying, I don't give a about whatever they got going on. Just understand, I'm moving forward. And that's what I'm saying. If you are in our entertainment business in the way that he is, and he's over here trying to promote his new, what he had? He has some sort of, I feel like cognac, and then he had a book, I think. He's worried about promoting that, which usually is going to take him away from the home. He ain't going to be at home like that, and he knows it. Which is why now he's like, it's being reported, let me say it like that. It's being reported that he doesn't want primary custody. They can do shared custody now. I don't know. I followed both of them on Instagram, and I always saw that little girl with her. At least she was the one that was posting all the time with the baby, and not him. It says, yes, when a woman loses custody, people act like she's not a good human being. That's true. I agree. But to be fair, because women typically, the mothers typically do get custody, that's why I say you gotta really like convince the judge that this woman is just not a fit parent whatsoever. And even like I said, even when there's mental illness, which that is a very broad term for me to even say, because anxiety is considered a mental illness, if I'm being fair. But that's considered, even if she's on drugs, it's still, people will give you your children back even when you've had drug history, criminal history, and whatever else. Be clear, they will give you your child back. All you have to do is go to the parenting classes, get a safe place for the children to live, and your drug use has to basically, all those levels have to just come down to 0, and they will give you your child back. Be clear. And all the years that I worked in family court, I rarely saw a father. Not saying that some didn't exist, but it was rare. And usually, when I did see a father there, they both, the mom and the dad, were usually had a criminal history. Which, listen, if I'm being fair, this is a sad statistic, but it is what it is. If they're in family court and it's a family situation, there's 3 things that I feel like it's a trifecta, in my opinion, from my experiences with family court. The 3 things are, there's usually drug use, there's usually some sort of criminal element, and or mental health issues. I'm just saying what it is. So like I said, if there is a husband or boyfriend or whoever, baby daddy around, and he is trying to fight for his kids, they probably both have a criminal element and both have a drug element. It just is what it is. So me saying that about the court system is just to say about Jeezy, if he really wanted those children, or his child, him and Jeannie Mai's child, he really wanted that child primarily, he would have had her. Because let's be clear, if you go to a football game or a baseball game, any sports activity, and you are the dad and the mom is never there, I promise you, every female that he talks to is just like, oh my God. Like, even in their mind, there are either 2 things happening. Either like they're like, oh my God, that's so sexy that he's here with his child, or at every game. That's number 1. Or they are judging that mama within an inch of her life. Why the hell she ain't here? Okay? It can't be she working hard, she out here. No, that is unacceptable. Okay? Let's be very clear. Let's be very, very clear. Reverse that. Let that mom be there at every game, every sporting event for her child. It wouldn't matter if it's a male child or a female child. Nobody is so surprised, because in our society, we believe that that's what a woman should be doing. Why are we giving her credit for what she should be doing? But we don't think that way about men, because this is going to be the response if the mom is asked, you know, where's your husband or your baby, or whatever, and her response is, oh, he's working, or whatever it is he's doing. If she doesn't even get that response, they're going to assume dad must be somewhere working, doing something for his family. That is what's going to happen, I can promise you. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to talk to her. You don't have to know this man's name, but that's what people are going to assume. It's the same thing. It's very childlike and juvenile when you think about it. Because think about how children feel about the absent parent. My dad, if the dad is the absent parent, or my mom, whatever, children make up in their mind a fantasy that if that person isn't here with me, that person must be doing something great. They must be over there planning to take me to Disney World, or the absentee parent usually is the one that the child, because they've made up a fantasy in their brain of what the mom or the dad must be doing if they're not there with them. It's the same thing with the grown women and men that are going to judge the mama if she ain't there. But if the dad is there, listen. Some women get... Listen, this can't be Chanel after dark, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Some women, they can't get past it. And also, too, some people, they have like, it's on some level, it's like the celebrity effect. You know, it's just like if he or she is a celebrity, they get a pass. It's kind of like I was telling y'all about how I used to feel about Oprah, Rihanna. Oh my God, I don't know why I can't think of this woman's name, and y'all know her. She's a queen, and she went on tour, was going on tour with Babyface, like last year, the year before. It's like right there on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of her damn name. It's not Aretha Franklin, it's not Patti LaBelle, it's another lady. Oh my goodness. And she don't play no games. And I love her every second. But anyway, back to Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. So a lot of people, because Jeezy has come out and basically said or made this allegation that, you know, if I'm such a bad person, because I can guarantee you, he didn't even have to say this in what he's claiming about Jeannie Mai. But I can promise you, this is what some women have determined, and some men. This is what they've said after Jeezy put this claim out that, you know, his wife, soon to be ex-wife, is saying all of this negative stuff about him. Because he says, why does she want to have I can guarantee you this is what some people have said. They've said, if Jeezy is such a horrible person, or such a horrible father, and whatever else, which I don't necessarily think, I haven't heard that Jeannie said that about him. I think Jeannie said, listen, these are some things that have happened after it just seemed like, this is what it felt like happened to me, if I'm being real. When the story broke a few months ago about them getting a divorce or whatever the case may be, Jeannie came out and basically said, at some point after he said, you know, or after the story was let out that he was getting a divorce, Jeannie came out, I think, and she said something to the effect of, oh, I was shocked, and it's a word that she used. But basically, she was saying she had no idea. That's what I feel like that was the consensus of the public, is that he blindsided her and she didn't know. And so then, you know, like I said, people are going to do what they do because they tend to blame victims. It just is what it is. Or they try to figure out, especially if it's a celebrity, there must have been something for this celebrity that they love to have done to this celebrity. They must have been retaliating in some way or provoked, right? So eventually Jeannie comes out and she says, you know, I was blindsided. I did not know that was happening. And so since then, some other stuff has come out about Jeezy saying, you know, we had text messages, or he had some sort of proof saying that this is what he was gonna do. So then again, people who didn't believe Jeannie anyway, are gonna be like, okay, well, you know, now she's a liar because they talked about it, right? And here's my riddle to those idiots. Or listen, I shouldn't be calling people idiots. So I'm gonna just say to the people in the back, come to the front, right? If you've been married and listen for a significant amount of time, I feel like they've been married for a short period of time, but it is what it is. It may be significant for Jeezy, right? This is the thing about divorce, or someone saying, oh, I was blindsided. Like I said, if you've been married for a significant amount of time, I would say 5 years or more, but it could be less. For the people in the back, if you're unhappy, you've probably thrown that word around. I'm getting a divorce, we're getting a divorce, or if you don't stop cheating, we're getting a divorce, or if you don't, whatever it is. If you don't spend more time with me, if you don't, take the kids out, whatever it is, I'm getting a divorce. It happens. And just because you say, I want a divorce or I'm going to file for divorce, doesn't mean that's what you're going to do. And to me, again, for the people in the back, it's going to be or become the boy that cried wolf. So if I'm in some unhappy marriage, but maybe we can't leave each other financially because we financially can't, we need both of our income to maintain, right? That might be another reason that you stay together. And it might also be a reason why if someone says, we getting a divorce, and you've told that to your partner or your whomever, why you still are blindsided when it actually happens. Because if this person is crying wolf 5 times over the 6 years y'all been together, or 5 times over the 10 years y'all been together, it doesn't hold anything anymore. You're just like, whatever. So it doesn't mean that because he finally filed for divorce, she's a liar. It actually means it's very possible that he's been lying. He's been saying this to her, and now it's like, oh, wow, I'm shocked. Because if I remember correctly, and listen, my memory is bad, so it is what it is. But if I remember correctly, Jeannie, the week that it was either the week he filed for the divorce or maybe the next week, she was all on Instagram with her daddy, with her husband's book, her and the baby, with his book promoting him and saying, look at what your daddy did. And, I'm paraphrasing, but she, to me, was still trying to put up this good front that women, I feel like, are professionals at, especially if you're in some relationship you don't want to be in, you don't want to embarrass him or whatever it is. You want to keep up, even if you're not in the best space with that person. I think most, let me not say most, I would say people that I know, if they maybe aren't as happy in the relationship, it's been a difficult time or whatever it is, if you're a real one, you're not trying to just like sully that person's name, because what can happen is y'all could get through that rough patch, right? And this is the problem, but it happens, if you have bad mouth that person, your husband or your baby daddy, whoever it is, to your bestie, to your sister, to your brother, to the people that love you, your mom, dad, whoever, you moved on, but they mad. They don't want to hear about this man. They don't want to hear that y'all got over it. They don't like him, usually, unless they're like him. Because they care about you. And it's difficult to bring that person around that you have said did X to you, whatever that might be. Whether he cussed you out, called you out your name, hit you at some point, treating you treacherously, cheating on you, whatever it is. When you go tell your family or your loved ones, they don't forget that. If they're like me, I'm like, if you bring let me say it like this, when you bring that person back around, I'm just not a bitch. So you bring that person around. If there was violence in the home, no, don't bring him. We just won't see you, because I don't want that person there. I don't like negativity, and I can't fake, and I can't do that with people. But I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm not going to be a bitch. So if he didn't do something like that violent, but y'all just had a real past, you told me about it, whatever, I'm not going to treat that person poorly, because I don't want you to treat me poorly, even though I don't have the same behavior. People have to grow. It just is what it is. But some people aren't able to do that, especially if they really love you, and if they're kin to you, they don't have it in them. So anyways, so here's the thing. Like I said, a lot of people ask that question. So if this man is so dangerous, because I think the other thing that happened was Jeannie, I think in court documents, was saying that Jeezy is dangerous. That's what I got from what I read. She didn't use those words, but that's what I got. So what I got was he has certain types of weapons where I think what was reported is that the child, the 2 or 3 year old, picked up a bag, a Louis Vuitton bag, and it had one of those large weapons in it. That's what was reported. There was also, I think, a picture of one of them being on a bed or something to that effect. Listen, if I'm her attorney, if I'm her parent, I understand why she might feel that that's dangerous, because I've been in people's homes as an investigator or whatever, and it's like, I need to know how many weapons you have. Because I'm just here at the time. I'm just like a social worker coming in his house. Listen, it is not unheard of. I've worked with people that got unalived, coming to somebody's house trying to check out whether or not it's safe for a baby, or gotten attacked, or gotten shot at. Oh, I don't know if I can use that word, but you get what I'm saying. So it's not necessarily a safe situation. And yeah, you can call the police to come help you, which is what I would do. Like when I was in training with this one girl, listen, the mama, it wasn't a safe situation. So yeah, we call it Popo because we need to remove the child. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna wait for the police to get there, but I'm not knocking on the door because that person is crazy. I'm not endangering my life. That's what the police are saying. It says, I need help. I came home and caught my nephew and my husband. Ooh, I didn't get to see the whole thing, sis. Or bro, because I don't know. I didn't get to see it all. Listen, I don't know if I can help you with that. That's problematic for a whole bunch of reasons. The biggest question I would ask is your nephew under the age of 18? Can he consent to whatever it is they were doing? If he can't consent, so listen, as a social worker and a therapist, I have a duty to report. I have a duty to, in certain situations, like with my clients, I have a duty to warn. I don't have a duty to report for an adult if something's happening with an adult, unless it is someone going to be unalived by this adult, like they're reporting to me that they're going to go unalive someone or themselves, then I have a duty to warn. Okay, so I was able to read some of it. It says that you were a social worker for years, for like 27 years or something like that, until you had a foster parent to do something. I didn't get to see it. It just, for whatever reason, it shows up for like 10 or 15 seconds and I don't get to read it all. But listen, in my opinion, social workers, we're just like, well, listen, we the backbone of society. Shout out to social workers. Because we get put in, we're in every system that you could ever think about. Think about it. We're in the school system, the education system, right? Because you definitely need them there. We are in the hospital, medical field system. We are in the mental health system. We are in the law enforcement system. We're in every single system that there is. Financial systems, all that. It just is what it is. We're not so much in the financial systems in the sense of like people getting money like from a bank or something like that. Because people who have a lot of money, be clear, they can keep all kind of systems out of their way with their attorneys. That's why, and listen, and I'm not saying this about social workers, but think about it. If there is a situation that's violent in a neighborhood, in Houston, I would say a wealthy neighborhood would be like River Oaks, Memorial, probably parts of the Woodlands, places like that, right? The police that are going to investigate something in the Woodlands or in the River Oaks or Memorial area, I promise you, they are not the same police that are coming to Fifth Ward or Third Ward. They not. So on a broader scale, that would be me comparing the police having arriving to a crime in Beverly Hills. They are not the same police that are arriving to a crime in Compton. Be very clear. There are different type of police and how they're going to approach said crime. It's going to be very different. It's the reason the Mendez brothers didn't even get found out and wouldn't have gotten found out if they wouldn't have been out buying Rolexes and buying cars and whatever else. Because this wealthy family, these young men couldn't have dared done that. But I promise you, if they show up in Compton, everybody under arrest. Just is what it is. But yeah, social workers, listen, we put on our capes and we be out there in these streets just trying to make people's life better, you know? But yeah, we're everywhere. I have clients at schools that I go see, and I promise you, they're not the same clients that I see in certain neighborhoods. They're just not. In the different neighborhoods, the Bel Airs of the world, they won't even let me come into school. They're like, no, you yeah, our school doesn't allow therapists to come to the school. Lies. I know you're lying. But whatever. Okay, that's fine. I'll see him at home or whatever. But it's usually easier to go see him at school because the schools, certain schools with certain demographics, will they'll be understanding because they know that those children aren't getting what they need at home in many cases. Whereas if you're in a certain different type of neighborhoods, the ones that won't let me come to their school and come see their children, is because the parents know, and the parents quote unquote have rights, and the school is not trying to be in that dogfight with their lawyers. So, nope, we don't allow that at this school. Anyway, back to Jeezy. So let me be clear about for all the people who are gonna believe Jeannie Mai. And listen, I don't know Jeannie Mai and I don't know Jeezy. I liked both of them prior to this whole situation, but I'm Team Jeannie because I think she's telling the truth. People aren't gonna tell you about their horrible marriage, especially if they're celebrities. They want the world to think they're great and everything's great. Whenever they even announced, I was like, what the hell? But I was happy. I was like, yes, I was here for them and their marriage. I was just like, I would have never, I was like, I would have never put them together. Not ever. Mm-mm. I was like, but I loved me some Jeezy. You couldn't tell me nothing about Jeezy. I was just like, that man is so hot to me. Not in the traditional hot way. It was something about him. Just his swag. I don't know. I loved me some Jeezy. But I was like, to all the people, they like, oh, well, she just want him for his money. Girl, come to the front. Let's be clear. He met her on her nationally syndicated TV show. Not the other way around, sis. So you could say whatever, but I can promise you, Jeannie Mai was coming into everybody's living room, most probably young 21 to 45 or 50 demographic 5 days a week. Be clear. Jeezy, even now, he was Jeezy before Jeannie Mai, before we even knew who Jeannie Mai was. Be very clear. He has not, and probably will never, be in anyone's living room 5 days a week. For what, 5-6 years, however long the reels are. He ain't. He don't have that type of demographic. He doesn't. And I, listen, like I said, before this, I loved me some Jeezy. Sure did. But I'm a realist. Ain't nobody, stop. They are not checking for him like that. He ain't even gonna be on BET like that. Stop me when I'm lying about something. But anyways, I do understand, and I will say on some level, it's a fair question, because as soon as this dropped on TMZ or wherever you get your news, celebrity news, people immediately kind of said, they giving Jeannie the side eye. Like, girl, you over here wanting to have a whole baby with this man, and you saying he violent, and he's this, that, and the third, and he's dangerous, and he has GUNs around the house, and that's dangerous for y'all child, and this, that, and the third. I can understand how that could be, a little confusing for some people. But to me, him saying, oh, why she want to have another baby with me? It's gaslighting intelligent people. That's what you're doing. You're trying to make her seem like she's crazy. When in reality, even if you're not Jeezy and even if you're not Jeannie Mai, we all know somebody. All of us know at least that one person where they a couple and they toxic. So one week she can't stand him or he can't stand her. He done with her, she done with him, whatever it is. And then 6 weeks later, oh, I'm pregnant. It's like, what the hell? And for an intelligent person, you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing, girl? Because it's a trap. It's a trap. But it's sort of like, I remember my little sister, when she was like, Jesus, she was like 17. And you know how people will tell you, like, if you're a parent and you tell your daughter, stay away from him, she gonna run more in that direction faster. That's how I felt about my little sister. I'm like, oh my God. And I knew, because she came to my office one day, and I worked in social work, and with a lot of young people who had aged out of foster care. But anyway, she came up there to my office, and he's with her, and I'm in my mind rolling my eyes, and I know she knows that I am, even though I'm still smiling, right? Like, oh God. But I couldn't tell her, girl, run the other direction, because she came in there to show me a tattoo. I was like, why? But I can't say anything. Anyway, she knows better now. But the reason I bring her up is because real life will especially guys that have a controlling element to them, they usually end up being abusive anyways. But they do that control thing where in her mind, him being like, oh my God, him checking on her and all that, for her at the time, oh, that's so great. He just wants to be with me. And no, sis, he wants to control you. That's what he wants. And if you're young and you don't know no better, because you're looking at Coco's life, Chanel, Coco, just me. You're looking at my life and you're thinking, okay, well, my big sis, she's with her husband and they've been together all this time. Yeah, but he don't control me. He can ask me where I'm at because we married or whatever, and I might tell him and I might not. I probably will at some point, but I'm not immediately, no. Because I'm a grown person and you'll be okay. You will. Uh-huh. Because it ain't like I'm not going to answer him. And really with my husband, I had to kind of learn, I guess. His thing was more about safety. But now he'll ask me where I'm going when I'm coming. Because he know better. Leave me the hell alone. Wherever I am, I'm a whole grown lady. Be clear. So no, I'm not. I mean, like I said, I try to do better now and just be like, he just want to know I'm safe or whatever. But like I said, he don't do that to me no more because he learned. Listen, you can't control her. Not me. And if you met my sister, you wouldn't think that either because she is, listen, she body. Shout out to her. She know who she is. And I love her. But yeah, she was with that guy and I'm like, ugh. But like I said, I was a social worker, so I worked at a building full of young people. And I'm like, I remember this one girl came in and I knew her since she was like 15. I remember she got on the bus. We were going like to a youth camp or something. She's just like, look at my legs and I have the greatest legs. So I was like, how can I work? Loved her. But I remember when she was with this guy, oh, he was definitely physically abusive and mentally abusive to her. And he just ruined so much for her. He would she would get a job. I remember she got a job. He would come up to her job, make her lose her. It was just terrible. But it's emotional abuse. I'm so grateful, Lord Jesus, that she didn't have a baby with him. But I remember she came up and she had wrote his name, but part of his first name was a part of her last name. So when she wrote it, I was just like, she knew I was disappointed when she showed it to me. I'm just like, oh my God. But then she was just like, I'm not no fool. I know I could just put the rest of my name. I was like, yes. But I guess for the time, she didn't want to she didn't want no fight. So she did it for him. Make him feel good. But back to what I was saying. A lot of people, when Jeannie Mai came out and said, when Jeezy came out and said, well, if I'm such a terrible, horrific human being and I'm, abusing her or whatever, why does she want to have a baby with me? And for some people, like I said, that's a valid question, right? Especially if you're younger. I can see how, because you don't have that experience yet or the knowledge yet. But for some people, they just don't like her. So therefore, she lying. And what I got from that is, again, the boy that cries wolf. There's a ton of people who, at some point in their relationship, once they get back together or whatever, yeah, oh, I want to have a second baby. I want another baby with him. He's doing this and that. So I forgave him. Now I want to have another baby with him because he's doing all this great stuff. And again, according to what she was showing at the time on her Instagram and his Instagram, and we all know social media is just it's fakeness. It's your resume where you're putting all the great things that you've done and omitting all the horrible shit, all the jobs you was only at for 3 months and got fired. Okay. But the employers know that. We know you're not putting on there your three-month job. Unless it was one of those, oh God, what are those jobs called where it's just like, it's a temporary job, temp job or whatever? Yes, we know that whatever they're posting is their highlights. Except for some of those people. And we all know some of those people that be on the internet, on the Facebook or the whatever, talking about, oh my God. They put their whole life on there. Their boyfriend that cheated on them. And I'm like, and then 2 weeks later, he the best. I'm like, girl, what is it? But a lot of that stuff is learned. Your children do what you do. Be clear. So watch what you're doing in front of your kids and watch who they hanging around, meaning not the friends they hanging around, but their friends' parents. Everybody isn't savory. I had a best friend for a long time. We met in high school. And when we was in high school, couldn't tell me nothing already. Like I told you, I'm a Leo, maybe 5-star hotels and room service. She was from the country, so I had to teach her, like, you can't let these boys borrow your car, sis. And wasn't even her car, it was her mama's car. She had a Maxima, couldn't tell me nothing. Yep, let's ride around in my friend Maxima. We a boss bitches around here, okay? But I didn't know. I mean, at 16, I wanted my mom to be just like her mom. Yeah, let me drive your luxury vehicle. No, my mom was like, no. Okay. But I always saw her mom as fun. Even when I came over, she was like, you need to be more like Nikki. You telling your daughter to be like her? Okay, girl. Anyway, I didn't realize until I was like 19, off at college and trying to convince my friend. I'm like, next semester, we should get what did I say? We should get an apartment together. I'm like, you're just as smart as me. You're an AB student just like me. So, we should go to college together and, get a roommate and whatever, right? And that day, I remember her mom calling her a bitch. I was like, I clutched my invisible powers. That wasn't even a thing yet. Girl. Maybe it was, because Top Model was on, I think, first season or second season. Anyway, I just never heard her mom speak like that. And that's when I kind of learned who she really is, meaning my friend, who she really is, and who her mom really is. And not that my friend was a bad person, but I didn't understand it, because in my mind, her mom was fun. And then I learned that, everything ain't what it seems. So again, it's gaslighting for intelligent people or people who know better about how manipulators can manipulate. It's the cycle of violence. And let me just, like I said, I put all this stuff in the I'm gonna put it all in the description so you can go look it up. And let me just say this before I forget. Oh. If you want to call, if you're in a domestic violence situation, there's a number. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be in my description. But you can text, let's see, what is this? I'm going to give you the number if you're just watching it, in case you can't call. 88788. And so you can text with people. And then there's numbers you can call to get help to get away. And you can get help with having a non-disclosed address, especially sometimes people who are in domestic violence situations, they're also financially abused. So whatever money isn't their money, they don't have access to it. But when you are ready, if you can safely do so, you can certainly call different lines, or like I said, you can text. I remember this one lady, she was trying to, somehow she called, I feel like it was Domino's Pizza, and I don't know how she was able to do it. I think this was on 2020 or something, but anyways, she was able to send a message to Domino's that she needed them to send the police. She did that some kind of way, and they came and they got her out of that situation. And then I was listening to something, I don't know if it was on 2020 the other day, but this lady was having a conversation. I guess she called 911, but she was having a conversation. You know those conversations you have with one of your besties where the answers that she's giving are kind of like cloaked. So y'all know what she's saying, but the guy doesn't necessarily know, or whoever it is that she's trying to hide whatever information from doesn't know. And she was talking to the 911 caller, and the 911 caller was asking her all the questions I would ask. Are you safe? Are you not allowed to talk out loud? Or whatever. She's like, yes. Is he listening? Yes. Like, it was just interesting. And she was just kind of like, do you need me to send help? Yes. It just gives me the chills listening to that phone call. And you could hear the operator when the guy, I don't know what, I feel like maybe he caught on, but the operator was like, the police are there, they see you, or something like that. And I guess the boyfriend at that point, or the baby dad, whoever he was, he realized it too, and the police came and tapped it up, and you could hear it over the phone call, and it was just like, thank you, Jesus. Because she was like asking her, are you safe? No. Do you need help? Yes. So all her questions and answers were yes and no. But there's ways to get around it. Anyways, I just want to talk to you guys real quickly. If this is you or a friend or someone you know who you love, I want to talk about the cycle of violence. So, like I said, I'll put the link in the description. But a lot of people who are violent, they do a lot of different things. They're very manipulative. They'll even do the thing, especially if they're just a narcissist, which a lot of people who are abusers are. They'll even say, "Oh my God," and I've heard this so many times. It's so annoying. But they'll be like, they're gonna unalive themselves if you leave them because you're just so important to them. And or they'll act like they want to know where you are, and they worried about your clothes, and they don't like you wearing makeup and your clothes are too tight, and this, I don't want you wearing dresses. All of these are signs. They are. This isn't those type of requests from your partner, and it doesn't matter if it's a same-sex partner or a male and a female or whatever. It's the same. Okay, the intimidation is the same. But the way they start off to see if you that girl or if you're that guy that they can manipulate like that, they will say things like, "Oh, I don't like it when you wear just this way or that way," or they want to know who you're going with, and then suddenly they don't like those people. They don't like your sister. She's always in y'all's business. They don't like your mama. They always in your business. Whatever. Your bestie. She's always in your. That's how it starts, and they make it out to be. They just love you so much. They love spending time with you and just that quality time with just you alone. Before you know it, they can't come to your house. They can't visit. Why are you on the phone with them? These are all telltale signs that you're in a power struggle with someone. And promise you, the struggle isn't going to last very long because that person wants to gain complete control over you and your actions and your movements and who you talk to and who you don't. And the way that they usually can do that outside of the mental abuse is the violence. And then intimidation. You better not be caught wearing this. You better not be on the phone with this person. They better not ever show up at my house. In fact, let's change your phone number. They have control of your social media. They know everything. Even if you don't know it, they know it. They're watching you. At your job, at your house, what your mama's doing, what your bestie's doing. Soon, you can't talk to nobody that could help you. Nobody that could tell you this is crazy and you need to leave and could help you do it safely. Because that's the other thing, too. The people who love you, who want you to leave and get out of it, and they can see the things you may not be seeing or want to see because there's some sort of control going on. Sometimes people don't even realize they're being controlled. Like I was telling you about my 16-year-old sister at the time. She's not like that anymore, but at the time, yeah, because he's 25. She knows it's wrong. What are you doing with a 16-year-old? They don't want to answer that. They want her because they can control her. They can introduce her to things that she may not have already been, privy to. That's why I remember when my little niece turned 16, I bought her a whole Tiffany's necklace. Sure did. Sure did. Why? Because when this little boy over here gonna buy her whatever he gonna buy her, she gonna be like, whatever. Yeah, I already had a Tiffany's necklace when I was 16. Plus her dad was rich too, so that helps. But I just always wanted her to know, along with my sisters and everybody else, like whatever he coming with, you need to do better. Whatever it is, she needs to be thinking in her mind, you gotta do better, bro. I'm already used to that. What's next? That way it's gonna be real hard for the power and control people to come over there. Anyways, I remember one of my aunts when I was young. I was at her house, and the guy she was dating, I don't remember what I was doing, but I think I went in her room for something, to ask for something. And I went to her door, and I heard him. She was like sitting at like her bathroom sink, like the thing that has like the 3 mirrors or whatever, the makeup counter, whatever. And this is my aunt that is like, I'll beat a bitch down in the street. Like, she the mean auntie, the scary auntie, right? That'll fight any girl, but was controlled by a man. It's the weirdest thing when you know this aunt is so strong that you know her to be so boisterous and whatever, and then this dude is literally laying in a bed. She's sitting over there putting her makeup on, and he is doing the whole I can see the turn. He ain't hit her. Because I think if that ever happened, it never happened at our house, at her house rather. Because my cousin, he bought that life, okay? So I don't think he ever did that. But he definitely, I didn't know at the time because I was like 9, but I was at her house. And I heard it from the door. He was just like, you fat, this, that, and the third. And oh my God. I couldn't believe it. He laying in the bed. He ain't even yelling. He ain't screaming. You wouldn't have known that this man is in here doing this. Because he's saying it so subtly. She in the, like I said, the bathroom thing, sitting there, putting on her red door, Elizabeth. I think is that Elizabeth Arden? One of them. Anyway, perfume. So what happens is usually they use intimidation, right? So they're gonna make you afraid that if you are caught doing whatever it is, you're gonna pay physically, right? So they're gonna intimidate you, or they might do it in front of other people, but they usually aren't gonna do it in front of other people because they want those people to think you crazy. Be clear, especially when you're reading about this scenario with Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. Now, like I said, I'm not them. I don't know these people. But I'm just saying, it sounds very familiar from, when I used to teach these classes about personal and interpersonal skills, and we talked about violence. So, like I said, they'll use, intimidation. They'll destroy your property, your phone, and they'll abuse your dog and all kinds of stuff. They also use emotional abuse. Like I said, you're fat, you're ugly, no one wants you. I'm the only person that loves you. Y'all remember that song Dirty Laundry with Kelly Rowland saying, he said, don't nobody really love you but me, not your mama, not your sister, and especially not me. That's what that is. Emotional abuse. You ain't nothing. Yeah, you got a song of this, that, and the third, but don't nobody really want you. Don't nobody spend time with you like that. Beyonce over there with JEZZY making hits after hits, and what are you doing? Just saying. If they can do that to a pop star worth what, 10, 20 million at this point. I don't know how much she's worth, but I think the last time I looked, it was like 13 million, so it wasn't very high. It ain't $1 billion on the elevator. And I love Kelly Rowland, or like I said, they'll use isolation. I don't want nobody at this house. I better not find out you had somebody at this house without me knowing. And they ain't gonna have nobody that they think you like or that might help you get out. Those people, they are negative. They don't like me. It's all about them. It's not about how healthy these people are for you. So yeah, they'll limit the time you going somewhere and then be harassing you, blowing your phone up. So now you feel weird. Now I got to go home. That's usually in the beginning. By the time they really using this type of tactic on you, you already knee deep in it and don't even realize it. They won't spend so much time with you. They love you so much. Lies. And like I say, they'll use jealousy, but they'll make it seem as though they love you so much. But no, they're jealous. They minimize or blame you. You're the reason that I'm angry. I gotta work all these extra hours for you. I'm trying to protect us and our family. Lies. But harassing you and making you lose your job. So you're dependent financially. And whatever it is you were bringing in, it ain't shit no way. So, shifting the blame. If you were here, if you made my food, if you washed my clothes, if you this, that, and the third, you wasn't such a burden on me. They'll use your kids against you too. She's stupid. Have your kids calling you stupid? It's terrible. And it's another way to control you. Because you leave, these kids, you might as well consider them DEAD. Because you're certainly not going to keep them without me around. Hey! Or they minimize it. Whatever the abuse was, it wasn't that bad. You really want me to... That's how they use it. I don't know. I haven't figured it out on live. I haven't figured it out. I'm sorry. I have to figure it out. I'm sorry. But I am going to figure out how to use how to read my chat. Because it won't even let me... Makes me have the iPad this way instead of this way. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But thank you for letting me know. Please hit the button if y'all can. Like I said, use the children against you. Make you feel guilty. Threatening to take the kids away. They'll use the male privilege. But like I said, I put this in the description. And a lot of people, especially the abusers, they do things like this to keep that control. And just like pedophile, or I don't know if I can say that word on here, but just like those people will do things to make the victim feel shamed, feel like they don't have anybody, whatever else. That's exactly what these people do. They threaten you, make you feel like it's your fault. If you tell anybody, ain't nobody gonna believe you. But the people that they pick out are no different than these people. Yeah. So when your little girl that's 12 years old comes to tell you that the baby daddy or the boyfriend did this to me, oh, his answer is already together. She's bad anyway. She always getting in trouble. She lie all the time anyway, right? It's no different. It's the same thing. They're just using a younger victim. But they're preying on the people that this does happen to. And it can happen to anybody. Remember I was giving you the example of my auntie who seemed to me, even to this day, listen, she ain't the one that you think you could play that game with at all. Not at all. But she's certainly a person who I know for certain was in an abusive relationship. At least two that I know of. I remember when I was real young. She had this great house, beautiful. This was in the 80s. I'm so old. But that's when my auntie was skinny. And she's not a skinny girl. But she was skinny for like 2 or 3 years. So I know she was like starving herself. Because she's never been skinny before or after that. But she was doing it for this man. Now I can't say I never heard him say anything to her out of the way. But I was really young. Never saw him do anything to her. So I can't say that he did. But I can say that she was a different person. Anyways, I'm just saying, I don't know if Jeannie is telling the truth about this. I don't know if Jeezy is telling the truth. But her truth, or whatever she's saying, sounds way more believable. And honestly, I don't even think Jeannie would have come out and said any of these things. Because allegedly, this stuff was going on prior to him filing for divorce. And I don't even understand why Jeezy did it that way, to be completely honest with you. And the reason why is because they could have divorced amicably. How do you say that word? I can never get that word right. But they could have done it and nobody had to be in their business. Now, are there going to be people like, what the hell happened? And are there going to be people that blame her no matter what? Yep. Are there going to be people that blame Jeezy no matter what? Yep. Are there going to be people that have allegiance to both camps? Yep. That's what's going to happen. But you can do that, and you can not tell people your business. You don't have to tell people your business. You don't. I don't know why he felt like he needed to make it seem like it was her. Because like I said, the day before it broke, she was on the thing with her baby on the Instagram talking about, look at daddy's book, he's so successful. And I'm paraphrasing, but I remember watching that Instagram. And I was like, oh. And what did people do? They ran with a whole story. Oh, she trying to change him into, they only speak in Chinese and all this stuff. And people ran with it. The mama won't leave. And now it makes sense to me. If you ask me. Mama like, nope, I ain't leaving my child here. If that was the case. From what the people were saying on the Instagram and on the internet, terrorizing that lady. I say, let's just move on. Just move forward, Jeannie. She seems to be moving forward. And he said, what, week 1, week 2? What did he say? I'm more concerned about where I'm going and who coming with me. Like I said, that shot's fired. So, it is what it is. I just felt like he left her out there to hang. He was leaving that lady just dangling. And all of the people online just attacking her. At the end of the day, that lady's still your wife. And be clear. You got to think about it, Jeezy. What if your little girl that you say you love so much and you want full custody, primary custody, what happens when she grows up and meets a Jeezy? You gonna be cool with it? You gonna want him to hang her out to dry like you did your wife? Because she's still your wife. Be adults. Take all this offline. I mean, I think on some level, you have to kind of like address the public, so to speak. But it's just like, be adults. Just be normal, regular people. There's no reason that, Jeannie needs to have her baby or you need to have y'all's baby in situations where, people threatening your life and all that kind of stuff. Because you still want to be Michael Vick. I got a whole $100 million on this contract in the NFL, but I still need to be fighting dogs. Why? Grow up. Really. There's no reason you need to have all them guns around your house. I ain't saying don't have them. Because I know people way less than you have with guns. Well, I probably not supposed to say the word on YouTube. So I ain't saying don't have it. But I'm saying be responsible with it. They both need to be responsible about what's going on. And honest. But we don't need to know about it. I feel. Anyway, guys, let me know. Chime down in the chat. Please hit the like button if you like the content that you're hearing here today with Chanel on Chanel's Reality. Then please subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to get out here. I've been on here for 85 minutes according to this live. I didn't even know, girl. I'm on here minding my business. Minding Jeezy and Jeannie business, really. But I will talk to you guys later. But chime down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure there are people on here that completely disagree with me. Listen, that's okay. Just be respectful about whatever you respond. All right, guys. I will talk to y'all later. And I'm going to look at some of these chats. See what y'all said about me if y'all drug me today. Let's see. How do I exit? Okay.